It's the first day of the St Ledger meeting at Doncaster on Wednesday. It's a competitive 7-race card. I've got 3 bets for you, starting off in the 210, which is the listed Scarborough Stakes. It's a competitive sprint. It's a race that features Dakota Gold, who still looked at the top of his game when beaten by a good one on the weekend. Moskill as well has been in pretty good form and improved form as a 4-year-old this season. He's won 2 of his 3 starts and wasn't disgraced at all in the Nunthorpe last time. So it's a race that I wanted to, if I was going to play one, it would be a bigger price, and one that I think that can outrun biggish odds. Tarbouche was the horse that I sort of landed on. He was beaten 5 lengths by Dakota Gold at Doncaster in the at Beverley in the Beverley Bullet there, similar grade to this, but he just got trapped on the wrong side of the course. The action sort of developed up the near rail. He was in the middle, and just don't think that race really got to the bottom of him. Prior to that, he'd run really well up to his best when third, winning the race on his side of the track at York in a really competitive 5-furlong sprint handicap off a mark of 105. That still showed that Tarbouche has got what it takes to win at this level, I think. And if things fall more kindly for him today, at a track that really should suit him, I believe he's record at Doncaster over course and distance reads 1-2, won a big field handicap a couple of years ago, and then was second here in a listed race on reappearance. This should really suit him more. It will be harder for Dakota Gold to dominate, you'd think, compared to the likes of Beverley anyway. And I'm hoping that Tarbouche can outrun big odds. He's around 9-1 at the moment. And I think that's probably a good bit of value at those prices. A second bet, 345. This handicap has got a more competitive look to it than it has had for the last few seasons. There's 14 of them, and you could give a chance to 4 or 5 probably, particularly with the 3-year-olds in mind, some of these lightly raced 3-year-olds, and Derevo, who obviously is a lightly raced 4-year-old trained by Sir Michael Stout. So it's not a race that you can be having loads of confidence in with a selection, but I do think Straight of Hormuz is very, very interesting for Jed O'Keefe. He essentially should have won at Chester last time. It was one of those weird races where it was a start-stop gallop. He sat prominent, but he just basically got outsped at the end of the race, a muddling tempo. Lorne Ranger was given a really, really good ride, the one that beat him. And I think there's still going to be more to come from this horse over middle distances. You look at his pedigree, he's by Sir Percy out of a High Chaparral mare, and he's bred to stay really well. He was very strong in the finish at Haydock when he won on his reappearance. That form is extremely strong. He beat 4 horses who are now rated in the hundreds by Timeform. So he's got the form in the book. He should really be improving on his efforts over a mile at 10 furlongs and maybe even 12 furlongs in time. And he's got Andrea Azzini booked as well, which I think is a big positive. It's a competitive race, but I think a better race and a strong pace on a galloping track will really suit this horse. And I think that he's very, very interesting. Straight of Hormuz in the 345 at Doncaster. The final selection I'm going to give is in the last race, the 4:15. Another one for Paul Midgley, Line of Reason. He's got 2 in the race. Line of Reason, I think, is possibly the more interesting. I just like the way he's drawn here. He's drawn around all the pace. He's a hold-up horse who will come through with a late burst. But you just look at how it's possibly going to set up for him, and it couldn't be much more ideal, to be honest. He's got the likes of Queen's Order and Shoot to Kill, who are pace forces. Glory Fighter and Ebar Gum are unlikely to be far away off the pace either, and he's drawn right in the middle of the track, in the centre of all that pace. So he's going to potentially get an ideal toe into it. He still looked as if he was in top form last time at the track. He was beaten into 4th, but it was a weird race on a day that essentially front runners were dominating at Doncaster, which often isn't the case on the straight course there, but it was firm ground, and it was a bit of an anomaly really that day. And this is going to be different, I'm hoping. I think it will be a return to the normal way at Doncaster, where if you get a well-run race, horses certainly can come from off the pace and win from off the pace. Line of Reason did the best of those that came from the back in that Doncaster race last time. And you look at some of the horses that also tried to come from off the pace. 4 have run since and 2 have won. So that's obviously significant, really. I think that the fact that a lot of horses weren't seen to best effect in a bit of a strange race. But Line of Reason did well, still looked in form. He's ideally drawn here. He goes well at the track, and I think everything looks set for him to run really, really well in the last race, the 4:15.